more so than covering one specific team. And everyone I talk to, oh, it's a formality. We're just going to crown UConn once again. How do you guys stay humble in the midst of that being the thought process?
Just look at the tournament, how it's gone. There have been upsets, and it's not really the best team that's been overall. It's just the best team that plays that night. And anything can happen, especially in a Final Four setting, because people, it's adrenaline at that point. You just want to go, you want to win, you try to do anything to win. And I think what keeps us so focused, we've seen it happen to other teams, and we don't want to be that team that's have that slip up. So our focus, we're paying attention to the details that the coaches bring in to practice and shoot around, and we're not wanting to be that team that have a fall.
So is there a balance between confidence? Because obviously, to pull off what you guys have pulled off, that's you're the best team in college basketball. Is there a balance between confidence and overconfidence, you think?
I think we know that we can't get too overconfident, because that's when mistakes can happen, and it can be minor things that lead to bigger things. So we just have to have the confidence to go out there and do what we've been doing all year, and not think we have to change anything.
Thank you, Crystal.
Talk about what it's like to be at your first Final Four.
It's exciting, finally being on the player side of it, instead of a fan, and then that just, I don't know, the experience has been pretty cool, and we've only been here 2.5 days.
Talk about what you guys did yesterday, hold down and all that stuff.
That was fun. It got a little hot in there, but the dancing, the food, and then having Ruthie Bolton come and talk to us, it was pretty cool.
What are you expecting to see from Mississippi State offensively and defensively?
Them looking to push the ball, go inside, and try to use their height advantage. And I don't know, I feel like they're really confident right now, and they probably have the game from last year on their mind, and they just want to be able to redeem that.
Like you said, top. How do you guys stay focused on your task?
Well, we have our practices, we watch film, so we stay focused by doing that and just getting done what we need to.
Have you guys talked at all about this week about the 60-point win and how it's irrelevant?
Irrelevant.
You guys have talked about that amongst each other?
No, not at all. We're just focused on our game this year and tomorrow.
Is this team really locked in right now at this point?
We are locked in. There's always a time for enjoying, having fun, but there's also a time to be focused. And right now, at this minute, we are really focused. We have our practice today. We're going to really buckle down and just make sure that we're all paying attention and get done everything we can.
You guys allow yourself at all to think that you're 2 wins away from another match?
Yeah, it goes through our mind, but we're still trying to just go game by game and go from there.
Talk about the fun you guys had last night.
I had a lot of fun. We all do, especially T, because she's more of a cowgirl. But we all really enjoyed it and line dancing.
Obviously, you said you guys aren't going to look at what happened in last year's game, 60-point win. What do they do differently this year?
They're just a total different team. Especially, I think their guards and their posts just gotten better overall, and their point guard who has the ball in her hand all the time, and she basically controls the game and how their rhythm works. And then their post player has just, she's just gotten so much better, and she's a threat to us, so we just really got to limit all of their touches.
I know I asked you this the other day, but now that you're here, what is it like?
It means a lot, this is my 4th time, but it doesn't matter if it is my 4th time or my 1st time. It's all the same, and I'm just, really excited, a little bit nervous, but more excited.
Is that more just normal nerves that you've been through this, so kind of what to expect?
Yeah, I would say normal nerves,
Is that what you've passed on to Crystal and the other freshmen, and even Napheesa and Lou, just because they're only sophomores? They're all Americans, but they're only sophomores.
True. They are sophomores, but hey, they're all Americans. They know what to do. They did it all season, and they get nervous as well. But I think they can handle it, because look where they are now.
Is that what you passed along to Crystal?
Yeah, I'm just telling her, it's gonna just don't stress about it. You're out here trying to enjoy it, but like I said before, there's a time and place for having fun, but also staying focused.
Go ahead.
You guys have played some big players this year as you look at Baylor and some of the other teams. What about Tierney that is different?
You know, she's just really all over the place, I would say. You know, wherever their ball, she's going to touch the ball each play no matter what, you know. So we're trying to, you know, limit her touches. But she's just such a big post. You know, we don't have a girl that her size or her, so it's just going to be really hard for our post players and our guards to actually come together and really limit her touches.
So this was a team that had a chip on its shoulder at the start of the season. Is that chip still there?
It is every game. You know, we're just going out there trying to have some fun and also really get done what we need to.
What kind of an impact can the guards have in this game as far as setting the tempo?
We can have a lot of impact, you know, because the ball is always in our hands, and it's going to be us, our guards, to, you know, get the tempo going and making sure that everything is in a good rhythm and that our offense is flowing and everything like that.
Obviously, you beat these guys by 60 points last year, but I know you're not looking at that. What is different about them this year?
Well, last year, obviously, you learn from experience, and every year is a different team. This year, it's a different team for them, and they've returned a lot of their players from last year. They've gotten a lot better, and I mean, they have size and a great guard play, which makes them dangerous.
What do you pass along to Crystal as far as, you know, what to expect?
It's a big stage, and I think she's been on a lot of those before, so she kind of understands that in her own sense. But at the same time, this is an animal that you've never faced until you get here. And I think, you know, more than anything, it's this exciting time. If you're going to have nerves, just play through them.
Talk about the fun you guys had last night at the Hoedown.
Hoedown was a lot of fun. You wouldn't think that like I was so into line dancing as I was. And, you know, the excitement on T's face, that just made the whole night for me.
What have you noticed about this Mississippi State team?
Well, obviously their size is going to be a big problem. What we lack in size, we make up for in speed and athleticism, so that also helps us. At the same time, their guards have definitely been stepping up, and they have, you know, a rotation that's working well for them. And obviously, from last year, it's a different team, and you're always going to remember that what happened last year. So it'll be a great battle.
Yeah, how much do you see, and because you guys switch so much, how much does that maybe disrupt other teams offensively?
Well, we're fortunate enough to have the ability to do as much switching as we do, and for other teams, because we're kind of always there on the next pass and our switches are usually good if the communication is good, it definitely disrupts rhythm and what you want to do, so you have to move to your next thought process, which sometimes a lot of teams are stuck in their own patterns, so that works for our benefit.
They're going to pressure the guards all over the floor, so it's going to be really important for you guys in setting pace and stuff like that. How difficult is that when teams do apply that much pressure anywhere on the floor?
Well, obviously, if you have the ability to pressure a team for full 40 minutes, I mean, that's an advantage that you have and that you should use. So for them, their ability to pressure us, to get up on us, is going to require us to kind of slow down, make reads, or make them pay for pressuring us. So one or the other. And understanding how the game is flowing and understanding when to make them pay and when to kind of find a way to get a good shot.
The fact that you started the championship game last year, has that helped you kind of have an understanding of what playing in the Final Four is like?
Yeah, I think, you know, me, Kia, and Lou too, and Peace a little bit, we do have an advantage in that we have been here before and we've watched guys do it before us. You know, we've had the first-hand experience of watching those guys take care of business the last couple of years, and obviously our staff has been here a million and one times, and they know how to get it done as well. So I think we are definitely at an advantage there.
How good was the defensive effort Monday as compared to a lot of games this season?
Defensive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It's fun when we can play defense like that, because I think I've said this all year that I think our transition game is the best. I think the way we can all run out, all five guys are really, you know, athletic and can get out like that. So when we're able to get stops on defense like that and then get out in transition, it's really fun for us.
I ask a lot of opposing coaches, what's more impressive, UConn's offense or defense? Mm-hmm. Your answer would be what, as a player that goes to this?
It's tough because our offense is always pretty consistent, and we always have guys. We have a lot of different guys that can score a lot of points, I think, on any given night. But I think it's our defense that separates us. I think our ability to, you know, neutralize teams' offenses, I think that's what sets us apart.
You guys beat these guys by 60 last year in the Sweet 16. Obviously, they're a different team this year. And what's different about them?
I mean, I think they've returned, you know, pretty much everybody, and all those guys have improved a lot. And I think what's especially different about them this year is, they have a lot of momentum going in right now. They have a lot of confidence, and they're not going to go down easy, and that's going without being said.
Talk about the fun you guys had at the hoedown last night.
It was fun, and I think my favorite part was seeing how much in heaven Tierney was, around all the cowboy and Western stuff. And it's cool because this is our last trip with her, and we want her to enjoy it.
They draw a lot of charges, just running through the challenge. You can't just put the ball on the floor and just go full speed to the basket. What challenges do they present with their ability to get in front of you?
Yeah, we just have to be smart. The thing that always kind of bites us in the butt is whenever we get into foul trouble. We just can't afford to, especially with the size that they have this year. So I think we just have to be smart. We have to be careful, and we can't get anything done.
How are you and Fisher grown in that? Because early in the season, it's like every game, you guys were getting the whistles, but as the season's gone on, you learn how to play a lot more intelligently and avoid the fouls.
Yeah, just one of those things, knowing that once you get, kind of a quick one, you have to be extra careful. We were definitely in a new role with the kinds of people we were guarding, and for me, I'm not even 6 foot, and trying to be physical with the guy that's huge, that was a struggle for me last year. Same thing with Napheesa. But I think we've started to learn how to get around people, how to not draw contact in that sense, and I think we've gotten a lot better at it.
I mean, they have McGowan being 6'7". Because you guys switch as often as you do, does that mean sometimes it'll be you under, sometimes Napheesa, and does that maybe cause problems for other teams?
We're just going to have to play good team defense on her. Everyone's going to have to rebound. Everyone's going to have to help inside, because there's no way, if she gets the ball inside, there's no way I can just kind of stop her by myself. So I think it's just going to have to be a team effort defensively.
When a team like theirs puts pressure on the guards on different parts of the floor, how much can post players sort of help out the guards? Do you have to kind of run to the ball sometimes to help them?
It's going to be hard this year because these guards like to penetrate and kick. They like to, they're not necessarily looking to score every time they attack. They're looking to kind of drop it off to someone. So hopefully, we'll have some good help at the elbow, not letting them get too deep into the lane. That's going to be the key, because if they get deep and we have to help them, that's going to leave the big guys wide open.
How about when they're pressuring, when you have the ball and they're pressuring your guards, do you have to try to make yourself available by moving around a lot to try to, so they don't turn the ball over and get tied up?
Well, I think one of the very few advantages of being a 5'11" center, I guess, is I can handle the ball. So if the guards need it, and I can just come flash to the middle, come help to bring the ball up. And whoever's guarding me, they're usually pretty big, and they don't like to guard full court. So that's where we have kind of the same thing with Napheesa too.
Gabby, can you talk about the idea of trying to balance having a good time? You were line dancing, having a barbecue thing, but also this is a business trip.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been doing this. It is much different, but we kind of do the same thing all year. We compartmentalize, and when it's basketball time, it's basketball time. But when it's not, it's not. And we don't want to try to mix the few. Like when it's time to have fun, we want to enjoy it. But we are here for a reason, and we do need to stay focused.
How well have you and Gabby grown in that part of your game? Because early in the season, it seemed like every game you guys were sitting on the bench with fouls. As time's gone on, that hasn't happened as much.
Yeah, I think just being more aware of it, we started to see that teams were doing that, so we kind of try to change that, how we were, playing, because when we are on the bench with fouls, it's not fun for us, it's not fun for our team, so we kind of we had to change that pretty quickly.
How have you and Gabby helped each other come into the season? You lose Tuck and Stewart, and two of the best post players that are playing at UConn. You guys play a lot differently. How have two of you kind of helped each other, rise up to the challenge?
I've definitely learned a lot from Gabby. She's, a great defender. She really knows how to play anyone. It doesn't matter their size. So I've learned a lot from her this year, just about being quicker and playing smarter.
Well, her passing, because she finds you quite a bit in the low post. How much do you think that two of you have really bonded on the court?
Yeah, I think a lot. We kind of know what each other likes. Like you just said, Gabby's a great passer too. So there's definitely some things I can learn from her.
What about when you watch that Mississippi State game? What can you say about what Morgan Williams did in that game? 41 points, no turnovers, 7 assists.
Yeah, she had an amazing game. There's really no other words for it. She played really great, so we got to make sure she doesn't do that against us.
What's the challenge? You've seen this team up close. What do you think is the biggest thing that they do well?
They do a good job of getting into the lane their guards do. They're really quick and finding their post players who are really tall. So we're going to have to really stop the guard penetration and keep the ball in close hands. Thank you.
Is that what's different about this team from last year? Obviously, you guys beat them by 60 points, but they returned everybody.
Yeah.
Is that what the difference is this year? They're just more experienced?
Yeah, definitely. And, I think they have some people who are in new roles than they were in last year as well, just like we do. So, the experience, and they have a lot of people that stepped up this year. I think they're playing really well.
Talk about the fun you guys had last night.
Oh, yeah, it was really cool. We learned some new moves, so it was fun.
Seniors last time here, obviously you guys want to win for them, but what does it mean to your second year here? 2 years, going to the Final Four.
Yeah, it's awesome, especially since, I'm kind of in a new role than I did last year. I kind of had more of a part in getting here than I did last year, so it's really fun, and like I said, we really just want to win for our seniors.
As you guys keep getting named to these All-American teams, obviously it's a great individual honor, but do you look at it as well, you're with Lou and Gabby and more of a team kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely. We wouldn't be here without our team. They do so much. They do a good job of finding us, where we like the ball. They do a good job of, a lot of times the guards penetrate and then dish it off to me or Gabby, and then we get the points. So it's definitely a team effort.
The consensus answer from your teammates was you had the most fun last night at the hoedown. Can you just talk about that?
I had fun. Line dancing was fun. I never did it before, so they had a bunch of country music, I like country music. The food was really good. The atmosphere was just really fun, so I liked it.
It's kind of surreal for you. You walked on here initially. 4 years later, you're playing in your fourth semifinal.
It's pretty crazy, but we're used to this. We have high expectations, high goals, and to be able to reach them, it's satisfying. So,
what would be your message to other girls from Connecticut that in a similar situation like you are, maybe played basketball in high school and went to UConn, and obviously they might need walk-ons again next year? What advice would you give?
Just work hard. Put your head down, work hard, do what the coaches ask, that kind of stuff.